What's up? I just watched this cool little movie, Pete Smalls is Dead. This was shot in 2010 and it's a quirky, offbeat indie noir, which feels like a love letter to and a parody of the gritty, chaotic world of independent filmmaking. It had a high-profile indie cast, so despite its niche status, the movie boasts a surprisingly heavy-hitting cast. It stars Peter Dinklage, shortly before his Game of Thrones breakout, and Mark Boone Jr. as the two old friends who head to Mexico for the funeral of a famous director, Pete Smalls. The supporting cast includes Tim Roth, Steve Buscemi and Rosie Perez, giving it a lot of cult classic energy. There's some meta filmmaking commentary. The director, Alexander Rockwell, is a veteran of the 90s indie scene, known for In the Soup. The movie is deeply meta. It deals with a lost film, a kidnapping involving a dog, and the general absurdity of the Hollywood fringe. Many critics viewed it as Rockwell's personal commentary on the struggles of making art within the studio system. The missing film within the film. The plot revolves around a missing masterpiece that Pete Smalls supposedly finished before his death. This is a classic cinematic trope, reminiscent of Orson Welles' The Other Side of the Wind, where the search for the artwork becomes more important and more chaotic than the artwork itself. So there's a directorial signature, and if you enjoy films with a very specific, slightly surreal atmosphere, this fits the bill. It blends dry humor, so much of the comedy comes from the chemistry between Dinklage and Boone Jr., and a visual style which captures a grimy, colorful version of both Los Angeles and Mexico that feels grounded but slightly off. There's an interesting couple facts further about Buddha. So in the context of the film, Buddha, the dog, belongs to the protagonist Casey Monk, played by Peter Dinklage. The dog isn't just a pet. He serves as the emotional anchor of the story and the primary catalyst for the entire plot. Why Buddha is central to the whole story? Well, the emotional link. Within the movie's narrative, Buddha is the last remaining connection Casey has to his late wife. This makes the dog's safety a matter of life and death for him emotionally. The plot trigger. Casey is living a quiet life running a laundromat until a loan shark kidnaps Buddha to settle a $10,000 debt. This is what forces Casey to return to the chaotic world of Hollywood and get involved in the scheme surrounding Pete Smalls' death. The film is dedicated to the real-life Buddha, who was the personal dog of the director Alexander Rockwell. Much like the dog in the movie, the real Buddha was an elderly dog, 16 years old at the time of filming, and a constant companion to Rockwell. The reality of the actor, well, interestingly, the dog you see on the screen is the actual Buddha. Because he was so old and frail during production, his presence on set deeply affected the cast and crew, particularly Peter Dinklage, whose soulful performance was often fueled by his real-life interactions with the aging dog. Dedicated to his memory, the film serves as a lasting tribute to Rockwell's pet, blending the director's real-life grief and affection into the fictional stakes of the movie. So the movie effectively uses the real Bond to turn what could have been a standard heist comedy into something much more sentimental and personal. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one for the bald truth.